Good evening everyone, my name is Songke. Today I'll be presenting on my research poster. The title of my research poster is Persuasion, Foot in the Door Technique with Implicit Request. The aim of my study is to determine the effectiveness of FITD technique and deviant requests on compliance. FITD is a strategy where a person is made to fulfill a small initial request that triggers compliance to a following bigger request. I have two hypotheses in my study. My first hypothesis is that participants from the two FITD conditions will comply more than the participants from the two control conditions. My second hypothesis is the participants in the FITD with textbook condition will comply more than the participants in the FITD with deviant magazine condition. We went through 4 steps to collect and analyze data from the participants. First step, a total of 80 participants must meet the requirements of A. Malaysian students between ages 18 to 25 years, B. Sitting alone and opposite of the experimenter, C. Comply to the first implicit request if they are under FITD condition. Second step, there are 20 participants from each of the 4 conditions. FITD with textbook condition and FITD with magazine condition involves experimenter asking the participants about the current time as an implicit request before reading the book. On the other hand, there is no implicit request included in the control with textbook condition and control with deviant magazine condition. After reading the book for 2 full minutes, either the textbook or the deviant magazine with a bikini lady cover, the experimenter then pretends to leave without the book after being called by one of the confederates. If the participant did tell the experimenter about the forgotten book within 15 seconds, it is considered as complying. Third step, if the participant is being visually suspicious, debriefing of information sheet and consent given by the participant is required. Fourth step, Fisher's exact probability test was utilized to analyze the data by the participants instead of chi-square test, as the results did not meet the 5-cell limit. In the study, I found out that majority of the participants did not comply to returning the books to the experimenter. The first hypothesis was rejected because the result is not significant with the p-value of 0.36. Although not significant, the phi coefficient of 0.16 indicated a small effect size according to Cohen's criteria. The second hypothesis was rejected because the result is not significant with the p-value of 0.61. Small effect size was indicated as well with the phi coefficient of 0.17 by Cohen's criteria. My results means that the first hypothesis is there is no significant association between the application of FITD technique and compliance. The second hypothesis is there is no significant association between FITD condition with different types of reading materials and compliance. As reported in the results, compliance to implicit request is not significantly affected by the absence or presence of FITD technique. The same applies to deviant or non-deviant reading materials. I learned from my study that there were several limitations and strengths. However, I will just be pointing out 2 major strengths and 1 major limitation. The major strength of the study, or my study, was the use of field experiment, which allowed researchers to study the participants' social behavior. Furthermore, the method increases the external validity of study, with the findings being applicable and generalizable to the real world. Field experiments have several limitations as a method of collecting data. A major limitation is of the potential bias involved in the study, because humans do have tendency to expect what should be seen, which leads to dissimilar approaches towards different participants by the experimenter. Future studies were suggested by me to develop a coding scheme to categorize the compliance behaviors. Instead of categorizing the participants into a simple yes or no answer for compliance to the implicit request, it is essential to code for understanding the data acquired from participants and convert them into results that can be reported. Thank you very much.